Hello and welcome to the 107th episode of the Fallout Feed. We're the show that compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everybody. I'm Ray, and I'm joined tonight by Sarah.
Hi.
And Andrew.
Hello, hello.
How's everybody tonight?
Wonderful. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing great.
Great. What's up, Sarah?
Not much. I'm thinking I definitely need a new like avatar. You guys have like Skyrim-y, like Fallout-y things. So I don't know. Somebody out there make me a good one.
What is your guide? Does it say life is good?
Yeah, so it's actually from I'm gonna have to look up who it's from. It's from the Rejected Cartoons. YouTube it. It's amazing.
The Rejected Cartoons.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And if you watch the video that has this little white fluff in it, just be ready because it takes a pretty crazy left turn. Don Hertzfeldt. He's amazing. So anyway, I'm just thinking that I need, like an avatar, like a cool one. So I got to work on that.
Well, my avatar is really just the show.
I know,
the
but
show's avatar,
and it's what we talk about.
This isn't my personal account. I'm on the show's account.
Yeah.
My personal account is me sitting in my comfy chair with my tiny 4-pound chihuahua on my shoulder like a parrot.
Oh.
That's my personal picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so my regular avatar is the one that last year on the charity stream, I bid for Victor's daughter to do my artwork for me.
Oh, that's super cool.
So yeah, she did a great upgrade on my my butcher knife.
Yeah, your former one was sort of like a meat cleaver with Der Metzger written across it.
Well, it's still the same one. It's just more artfully done.
Oh, nice.
I made the other one with my my very crude, autofill art skills.
Yeah. Do you have Photoshop skills?
None whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't have Photoshop skills because I can't fucking afford this Photoshop license. So I have the GIMP because it's free. I barely have GIMP skills either. My GIMP skills are gimpy.
Yeah, GIMP is good, but it's crazy bizarre.
So I'm kind of dumb because my husband has a degree in animation and illustration. So I should probably just have him make me one, right?
Are you fucking kidding me? You mean he could have been making Fallout Feed cartoons this whole time?
Yeah, actually, no, because he has a full-time job, but in theory, yes. I just asked him. I just texted him like, "Hey, I need a good Fallout-looking avatar."
All right. So seriously, though, Sarah, here's a serious proposition for your husband.
Got it.
How much he needs to estimate this professional cost would he be willing to donate to our cystic fibrosis fundraiser that we do every fall/winter? Could he animate someone's a little GIF avatar, since Facebook does you can have a motion?
Yeah.
Would he be able or willing to do something like that? I know something we discuss off air, of course, but that, geez, so many opportunities to exploit.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. We've never talked about that before. So I don't know. Probably. The only thing is it depends on what he has going on at work, because they have, like, depending on the project, he's working like
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
Oh,
So
geez.
he might be willing to do it. I just can't give you what the time frame would be.
Yeah. Well,
But we'll talk about it more and see.
you'll learn, Sarah, as Ray well knows by now. The one thing you don't want to do to Andrew is admit that you have some skill in some specific field,
Okay.
because he'll start asking for free labor. Ray, make me a flag mod.
Yeah.
And he fucking did it, you guys.
He's a champ.
The Fallout Feed flag. Check it out.
Yeah, and someday when we all get together, Ray's gonna make us dinner, because I've seen what his plates look like.
He's
man.
gonna get out his sous vide fixins.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy.
What are you cooking in a sous vide?
If it was for a big group, I'd probably do braised short ribs.
Oh,
You're doing okay.
sounds amazing.
Remind me of the method. Is this the one where it's sort of like submerged underwater in an airtight bag or something?
Yep.
And it's held at like a constant temperature or something?
Right.
Is there
for a portion of beef braised short ribs, you do it for I think it's it's either 165 or 170 degrees for 24 hours.
24 hours? Oh my god. Do you have to keep like adding water over time? I guess you'd have to.
No,
It'd boil off.
No, you cover it. You cover the container with plastic.
Oh, so you have like
Weird.
a little
Oh,
water
yeah.
cycle happening in there, like it rains.
Well, so yeah,
It's a biome.
the sous vide has it's a temperature control stick with a pump in it, and it circulates the water and keeps it at a constant temperature. And it, because it's very low temperature, you can do it in a plastic tub or a pot or a bowl or whatever you want, and you don't trigger certain actions in the proteins that cause them to get tough and that traditional cooking methods do.
So you're saying, Ray, slow and low, that is the tempo?
I probably wouldn't say that, but you are not incorrect.
Come on. Ad Rock likes to rock the sure shot. Oh, so we kind of were talking about food before the show even started, because Sarah brought a burrito to the game bed.
I did.
What kind of burrito were you eating? I asked if it was what did I ask? If it was a taco with a
fish
K.
burrito.
A fish burrito.
So it is a burrito of my own making. It is what I call a hash burrito.
Wait. Ray, let's guess. What kind of burrito is Sarah going to make at home? It's got to have sprouts and avocados.
It has neither of those things in it.
Yeah. So let's see. Chicken?
No, but that is a very good guess.
Whole black beans, not refried, but whole black beans.
Actually, yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Nice. Pico de gallo, freshly made by you tonight in your kitchen.
No. Oh my gosh. I am not a cook. Y'all should know this about me.
Trader Joe's Pico de gallo.
No. It is not even like a real burrito, you guys. Like, I don't even want to tell you what's in it because it's embarrassing.
It's like black beans and Velveeta.
Not that embarrassing. Do you want me to tell you what's in it?
Yeah, I'm out of guesses.
Okay. All right. If I'm not eating chicken, I'm eating ground turkey. Just a heads up. Those are the two like meats that I eat if I'm cooking at home. And basically what I do is I throw like ground turkey and taco seasoning in a big crazy saute pan. And then I throw a bunch of beans in there and then whatever vegetables are gonna go bad in my fridge, that goes in it. And then also like some peppers and like chilies and that kind of stuff. So it's different every time.
You like the ground turkey, eh?
Yeah, actually, I haven't eaten like, well, aside from like burgers places, like we don't eat like beef in our household. And it's not
Yeah.
like there's like no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like we switched to turkey a long time ago just because we thought it was a little healthier, and now
Yeah.
that's what we're used to eating.
I was raised in a household where my mother was on Weight Watchers all throughout the 80s.
Oh no.
And so there's nothing wrong with that. It was fun. I never had real beef in the house. Like you're saying, in your household, I was raised on ground turkey, but my parents never told me that. It was always, just sort of, they called them hamburgers. They called it spaghetti with meat sauce. They never specified that it was ground turkey. And so I was always baffled when I would go to other places and have like spaghetti or something, and the sauce was like so greasy and flavorful. You know what I mean? I was just like, why is this pasta so much better? Oh, it's because it's beef fat instead of turkey. But I actually was raised with ground turkey. I like it. Ray, do you have a ground turkey? Would you make a burger out of ground turkey?
Only after the last cow dies.
He does not approve, Sarah.
I know.
Hey,
I know. Well, of course he doesn't. He's the foodie of the group.
To each their own. If you enjoy turkey, knock yourself out.
Ray, does the sound of my burrito hash? I call it a hash. Does the sound of my burrito hash make you like want to just fall out of your chair?
No, I'm not food judgy.
Okay.
Yeah, people can eat whatever they want.
You need to throw an egg in there, and that'd be like a good breakfast burrito, even.
An egg would be so good. I didn't even think about that. I'll add it next time.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
It's always different. I mean, it's basically like mom just eats the scraps of whatever's left in the
It's
fridge,
like the 2-week-old radishes in the back.
Basically, yeah. It's like anything that's not growing something new on it.
Some corn.
There's corn in it, yes.
Toss it in. Nice.
There's corn in there.
Green beans and cauliflower. Eesh.
I don't usually buy green beans. Anyway,
all right. You have to pick one food item from the Fallout universe to put in that burrito. What food item are you putting in?
Definitely not squirrel bits, because we've talked about this before.
Wait, what was it? Was that something cannibalistic? I forget.
Squirrel bits is people.
Yeah.
It's
Soylent Green.
Yeah. I mean, Brahmin, right? I think that's the most benign.
You don't eat beef in your house. You're not allowed Brahmin.
Well, it doesn't look like they have any turkeys.
They've got those black birds that explode when you shoot them.
No.
You got rad chickens.
And rabbits. Where are those? Those over in Nuka World. No, those are in
Far Harbor.
Far Harbor, yeah.
What? I don't think I've met these before.
Yeah, there's chickens and rabbits over there.
Oh, shoot.
And if you get the small animals cage from the construction or from the build menu thing, can you do chicken cages? I believe you can. I don't know if you can catch the rabbits though. I don't remember. I think you can do chickens though. Is that right, Ray?
I don't know. I've never have built the traps.
Yeah, because you don't care about settlements at all.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't.
If I make rad stag burrito, will I get really strong because it increases your carry weight?
Oh yeah.
Because I think I would choose that.
I always like to use that for survival mode, but does it do something else, or is it just a carry weight buff?
It just increases your carry weight.
Yeah, and if you get that magazine from where Mr. Goodfield, where Professor Goodfield's, that place, the Sunshine Trading Post or whatever it's called.
Sunshine
Get that magazine. Sunshine's Tidings. Yeah. Get that magazine. It doubles those rad stag steaks.
Nice.
So, have you ever had deer, Sarah? Do you like game?
I don't think I've ever had deer. I think I've had deer jerky before, maybe, but I've never done stuff. I've never ventured that direction. I would try it. I'll try anything once, but
yeah. And Ray, you live in the South where people commonly gift each other sides of deer during hunting season. Has anyone
Exactly.
ever given you deer meat,
Oh yeah.
venison to cook up? What do you do with that?
Give it to somebody else.
Ray's not into game either.
Mm.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean, if somebody gave me, wild boar chops, I'd be all over
Ooh,
it. But
yeah.
Oh, I've had wild boar tamales.
no,
Pretty good.
How is it different? Are they just less fatty, a little tougher meat or something? I would
They
assume.
tasted like pork tamales to me. They didn't taste like anything else.
yeah.
Okay. I would just assume that they'd be naturally a little less fatty and a little tougher for some reason.
I'm a horrible person to ask because I just whatever's on the plate in front of me, I just eat it. I'm not really like
Hey, you got to watch
a
out for those
foodie.
pigs. Have there ever been a pig in Fallout game? I haven't played 1 or 2.
Not that I recall.
You got to watch out for pigs. I grew up helping out on a dairy farm, and they also had some pigs too. The farmer didn't care if we fucked around with the cows. He would even let us mess around with the bull. But, do not climb into that pig pen, because they will pin you down and kill you. Don't fuck with pigs.
Isn't that what, like, in all the scary mafia movies, they feed people to pigs?
Well,
Sounds about right.
I think that's just because they'll eat just about anything.
Yeah.
They'll eat whatever you put in their trough. So, be it meat or not, they'll munch on it.
All right. Especially, so what are y'all eating in the Fallout universe? You had to pick one thing.
Oh God, I didn't even think about the answer. Ray, what are you gonna eat?
I don't know. I bet those dolphins would be good.
Oh yeah. Too bad they're all dead and laying rotting on the ocean. I'd like to catch a fresh one if I could.
Probably could, maybe.
Well, with all the radiation, they're probably already cooked a little bit anyway.
Yep. Give you a little tingle when you eat them.
Need that chem resist.
I know it sounds gross, but have you guys ever had smoked Spam?
Oh, don't even get me started on Spam.
I might eat some cram, you guys. I think that might be tasty if prepared correctly. I think I might try that. I used to think Spam was the most disgusting thing on earth, and then I went to a barbecue and someone served me a slice of smoked Spam. I don't know why I ate it, but it's fucking delicious, y'all. It's very, very good.
Ray, how do you feel about Spam?
I don't hate it, but I wouldn't eat it by choice.
Would you, or have you ever eaten a fried bologna sandwich?
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Ew. Seriously. Tell me what's in a fried bologna sandwich.
It's
fried bologna.
Fried bologna. You can put mayo on it if you want.
Is it like a grilled cheese? Is that how you cook it? Or is it just like you fry bologna?
It's just a slice of bologna in the frying pan.
You cook the bologna first.
Yeah. But no, it's not grilled cheese. I don't toast the bread. Yeah, you just fry up the meat and put it on white bread, basically.
What does frying bologna do?
It actually makes it bubble up and pop and really gives it some texture and
a nice caramelized flavor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's disgusting.
If you're gonna go there, you might as well eat the smoked Spam too. I mean, it's half dozen, 6 of the other, whatever. However that phrase goes. Crazy.
Frater, I 100% agree with you. He says that's a culinary abomination, and I 100% agree.
Hey, he's from Canada. He has, no say.
Hey, go Canada. No, I love our neighbors to the north.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Sarah, I know you didn't have time this week, but seriously, you got to go get the cheese curds.
Yeah,
the Trader Joe's cheese curds.
Is that a Canadian thing?
Nah.
Oh.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Frater,
I know them from
Canada.
On poutine, right? Don't they do cheese curds on poutine?
Yep.
Oh, that's how we started talking about cheese curds.
Right.
Yeah. We have them in Wisconsin here, though. They're not solely Canadian. Yeah. Oh God, guys, we got like 6 hours of feedback to get through. We got the real important stuff, the food talk, out of the way already. So, oh man, did you guys play any Fallout this week?
I did not.
I didn't either. So let's get some feedback.
We are such failures.
Yeah, I'm cramming for the next test starting this weekend.
Yeah, me too. I need to get over to we're going to Far Harbor next week, I think.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten over there yet.
Oh yeah, we got some good stuff over there. And I think you have to unlock a few quests before you can even get to the stuff that we assign. So might want to double check on that. Right on. So what order did you want to go on with your feedback this evening, Ray?
I have them in alphabetical order.
All right, sounds perfect to me. Who are we hearing from first then? Because I've got them in.
We'll start off with Jen.
Jen. All right.
Hey, Fallout friends. Jen here. I've got the next round of feedback for you. The last time we left Crystal, she was busy with trouble brewing. From there, we walked along the southeast coast of the Commonwealth and came across a couple of ruined houses. So Sarah mentioned she did the same thing. So I was walking across, found some houses, and I couldn't remember where the kid in the fridge was because I've only done that quest once. And I ran into a legendary glowing mirelurk and died. I respawned. I forgot that I'd quick saved right before I saw him. So I kept respawning in the same spot, realized that punching wouldn't do anything to this mirelurk, and then discovered a king was coming at me. So on, I think, my third respawn, I started running backwards. Dance was pulling all the aggression, thank goodness. As I was running, I heard this little tiny voice saying, "Somebody help me." And I realized that I found Kid in the Fridge. I punched the door open because the Iron Fist perk makes me feel like a badass. And then the legendary mirelurk caught up to me. So when eventually I got through the fight, I got to talk to Billy. We started walking away and we ran into a guy named Bullet who tried to buy him. I told him the kid was with me, and Dance agreed, saying that while it was technically unsafe, it was the right thing to do. So before taking him home, I realized I had a lot of stuff in my inventory. I took him back to Abernathy Farm to unload some junk, and I was thinking it might be fun to take him to Nuka World with me because, I mean, the kid's been trapped in a fridge for over 200 years, and he could maybe have some fun. But while we were there and I was unloading stuff and crafting stuff, I heard him say, "Are we going the right way?" And then he said with a really harsh accusatory tone, "I don't think you're going to take me home." I felt really terrible, kind of like a kidnapper. So I decided to take him back. So I took him back and fought some gunners, lots and lots of gunners, because Bullet, who wasn't aggro before, seemed really pissed that I wasn't going to sell him the kid. So I killed the gunners and killed Bullet, and I took all the stuff off their body, intending to sell it. And I hope that Billy and his family would be happily ever after. Or would live happily ever after there. But I kind of doubt they will because they're so close to Quincy. And maybe in the future, I'll have some time to clear out some of the jerks there to keep them safe for now, till they respawn. I'm kind of sad that I can't relocate the family to a settlement. That would have been a really nice thing. So next on my list was the Silver Shroud. I've done this quest multiple times before, never in melee before, or unarmed, which is what I'm doing right now. So it was a lot of fun going through Hubris. Dance was really helpful in taking down some of the tons and tons of ghouls that would come after me. But being unarmed and also having points and sneak was kind of exciting because I was able to sneak up on some of the ghouls before Dance took them down. They didn't pay any attention to me. They were taking him down. I picked up the shroud costume and I went back to Kent with it. And Dance didn't seem really pleased that I was really going to do this. So I ignored him and continued along the Silver Shroud quest chain. So I made quick work of the guys inside of Good Neighbor with my power fist, and then on to Sinjin's dudes, or Sinjin's minions. I went to take those guys down. Now, I had a weird glitch, or not a glitch, but just a weird thing happen while I was trying to take down the first of Hancock's recommended takedowns from Sinjin. I arrived at the location I was supposed to find him, and I was sneaking, so I crept up behind the building where his quest marker was. And I was creeping along, following the quest marker, and I heard an explosion, and the marker moved from 10 paces to 40 paces. So I followed it. More shots, I heard more shots, and I heard another big bang, and the quest marker again moved, and then I got a notification saying quest completed. This has actually happened to me before, but it's only ever happened after I've activated the Mechanist DLC. So I never got to find the body or put the little card down. I was a little sad about that. But I moved on to the second location, which was a woman, one of Sinjin's henchmen. Is that what you would call them? Anyway, because I was in sneak, I was able to listen to her big discussion, pumping everybody up to come and attack me as the Silver Shroud. And before she could, as she put, get a murder in, I threw a plasma grenade at everyone, and they all went down except her. So I ran up to her and finished her off. On to Medford Hospital, where Kent was being held hostage. I snuck in, and I made my way in using grenades for the turrets and power fist for the raiders. I did manage to get a meat hook. That was really exciting to use, but it was still not as powerful as Swan's Fist. So I made my way through the building and down to Kent, where Sinjin was holding him. When I got to Kent, I put on my best blue dress. It was laundered, a pair of fashionable glasses. I drank some beer, popped some Mentats, grape Mentats, and I had my charisma up, I think, at around 15. So I figured I could charm them out of killing Kent, and I offered them the opportunity to kill me instead. Dance yelled, "Well played, Kent." I didn't actually hear Kent say anything, but Dance seemed really excited about it, and I ran up and went after Sinjin while he was attacking me. He was really, really close to Kent, and because I was spamming the trigger so hard and so many times, I killed Sinjin, and I accidentally took a swipe at Kent too and killed him in one shot. So I scummed a little bit, and I went back to a previous save because I couldn't live with myself having Kent die. So I went back and did the whole charisma check thing again, but I failed this time. I thought I'd wear the Shroud costume. Of course I failed. But Sinjin didn't go aggro on Kent like he said he would. He went for me instead. So I don't know. I think it glitched because nobody touched Kent. Everybody was coming after me. I managed to pull him off into that back room behind where he was being held, and with a safe distance from Kent, managed to kill him, and then the rest of the guys. And Kent was saved. He didn't leave the location. He was kind of stuck there. I had to shove him at the elevator to get him out. He's been stuck there before. I encouraged him to keep fighting. Dance didn't seem to like that I kept him alive, but was really pleased that I was telling Kent to keep fighting the good fight. I think Dance seems really inconsistent in his loathing for ghouls, but maybe he's just changing his mind. So next up was the Big Dig. I visited Bobby and Good Neighbor and quickly discovered that I cannot shoot or I cannot punch a Mirelurk to death, then I really do need to shoot them in the legs to give myself some more time. I met Bobby in in Diamond City, and then she told me to go and let Mel out of prison. I went in there with fancy glasses and my fancy dress and drank a couple beers and then went and spoke to the guards and threatened them, asking them to let Mel go early. And it worked, which was really awesome. I went back to Good Neighbor to meet all those guys and that really, really sweet iBot. And we made our way through the sewers, and I was surprised about how many legendary and glowing Mirelurks were there waiting for me. And that Mirelurk King was a bit of a pain in the ass, but I did find a set of XO1 after I fought him. It was incomplete, but it was what I needed to get through that fight, the big, big fight. So I did end up using my sniper rifle because I can't use unarmed weapons in power armor. So when it came time to do the final battle in Hancock's stronghold, I took Bobby's side for the first time ever. I've never taken Bobby's side because it's always an easier fight to take her down than it is to take down Fahrenheit and all the weird dudes in the hazmat suits. But so I took her on, and it was a tough fight because Fahrenheit has the Ash Maker, an incendiary minigun. I eventually made it through, lots of hiding, lots of throwing things like grenades, and I did use my sniper rifle to try and get her. I have a recon scope on it, which puts a little diamond over their heads. Once you look at them through the scope, so I could tell where everybody was, which was really, really helpful. I went back to Good Neighbor thinking Hancock was going to be really pissed at me, and he was, but he agreed to a 750 cap payoff for betraying him. So I agreed to knock off Bobby for him to get back in his good graces. I felt kind of terrible. I do love Hancock. So I found Bobby in a house not far away, and she was guarded by 2 turrets. She wouldn't leave town with all the. I couldn't put on a fancy enough dress to get her to agree to leave town, but she agreed to stay away from Good Neighbor. So we were all cool. Nobody was angry. She told me to loot the place. I did, but there wasn't much in there. And knowing I had to pay off Hancock, I thought I'd see if she had any caps on her. So I went to pickpocket her, but I forgot that I didn't invest any points in pickpocket in this character. So she got really mad, and her turrets came and started attacking me, and she was attacking me, and I was running out of health really fast. So I ran out the door to save myself, and she followed. So we were away from the turrets, and I took her down with my bare fists on the porch. It was a really, really long and sad fight, but it was a good one. I went back to Good Neighbor, let Hancock know what I'd done, and he told me to keep the caps and to let him come with me because I'm Brotherhood. I am a Brotherhood jerk this playthrough. I didn't think I should roll with him because Dance is my assigned love interest, and I'm still working on getting his affinity. So I sent him to Abernathy Farm out to pasture where I send everybody else. Next up was the Milton parking garage, and I've never done this before, and I swear if I didn't have sneak, I would have died a lot sooner in this. The places, I know we talked about this, well, you guys talked about this, I listened. The place is rigged with like 30 some odd scales and tons of tripwires, and I don't set off floor-based traps with sneak, so I did see a lot of alarms that were intended to draw attention. So the scary, scary monkey room freaks me out. There were sirens in different places. I saw lots of shotguns and stuff, lots of really, really loud stuff. But I didn't know why. I didn't know why there were so many loud things. As I made my way all the way up to the top, I discovered why. There are a ton of ghouls, and I'm assuming that if I set off some of the floor-based traps earlier, they would have come running at me. But I got up to the top floor, and they all came at me at once. There must have been about 10 or 15 of them. I'm totally not exaggerating. There was a glowing one. There was a legendary. It was like a festering glowing one that was all covered in boils, which was really disgusting. So I got up there and died, and it took me a few attempts to finally get through. I ended up hiding in a dark corner while most of the attention was drawn by Dance, and I used my sniper rifle to shoot legs. I couldn't swing fast enough. I couldn't get them down. It was a really really rough fight. Um, Again, the room of monkeys, so unnecessary. I decapitated all of them, and yeah, that was tons and tons of fun. It was kind of like a proto gauntlet, which was exciting to do. So thanks so much for that. Um, and thanks for listening. I think I missed a bunch of things in Milton Parking Garage, having listened to you guys talk about magazines and stuff and numbered rooms. I didn't see any of that. It was dark, it was nighttime, and I was so terrified through the whole thing. I think I'll have to go back. So thanks so much, guys. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you had fun listening to my feedback. See you in the wasteland.
All right. Thank you, Jen.
Love it.
Awesome feedback.
Sweet.
I also think the room of monkeys was extra creepy. Extra.
Clang, clang, clang.
Like, why? Why? It's like the room with the Christmas tree. Like, why? But it was good.
Yeah, it was all for the art.
All for
And
the art.
the numbered rooms weren't like hidden. They were just what you had to get through. Like if there were 3 doors in front of you, you had to choose one of the 3 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was in there. Maybe she didn't notice that the doors were numbered.
Yeah.
So I noticed that Jen and I play very similarly because I also say a lot, well, I went here and then I died. And then I died again. And I love that she shoots legs off of ghouls because I love to go for legs. I shoot things in the legs.
Okay, let's shooting stuff in legs. Let's talk about that for a second. What's your strategy here? She's going unarmed.
Yeah.
And she can't punch the Mirelurks because they're so heavily armored.
Right.
I mean, even in their face, when you use VATS, it just does 95% chance. Like there is no, you can't aim for the face or whatever in VATS when you're doing unarmed.
Yeah, you
how
can.
does
you can aim
really?
for things, can't you?
No,
I think it's just 95% total.
Yeah, body. Yeah.
Oh.
At least that's how it is with my melee weapon. I've never actually played unarmed, so I wouldn't actually know that. But I would assume it would be the same as the melee.
It's got to be the same. I'm just remembering it wrong.
But if you can punch somebody in the face if you do it without bats. You can target parts.
Oh Jesus! But targeting a punch to a Mirelurk's face.
Yeah,
because that's their weak spot, and it's the smallest spot on their body.
And that's just a bad idea in general. Those things hit you twice and you're done.
So I totally approve, Jen. Crippling the motherfuckers with your sniper rifle is A-okay in my book.
And then it's still melee if you kill them with the last punch. Just wait until they're almost done.
Yeah, cripple them. That sounds like a fair fight. Cripple something, then punch it to death.
Yep. Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's great.
That's not demented at all.
Yeah. And don't worry too much about not having your power fist when you're in power armor, because you get a huge bonus in unarmed in power armor. So you're doing serious damage with just the fists of the power armor.
So where does it show that damage on your Pip-Boy? Can you go to your
I don't know.
Your main screen where it shows your armor? Would it show? It wouldn't show your damage on your armor, would it?
No, I don't think it does.
That is something that I don't really want this, but I'm always interested if there would be a mod that you could do this. There probably is. I've always wondered the specific numbers of damage that you're doing, because it is such a number and roll and random sort of encounter game, but you just don't see those random rolls occurring behind the background. Now, I wish I could see how much damage each monsters losing each time I hit it. Like in some games, you'll see like -21 pop up out of his head. That time you hit it with a
Right.
-17, and then the next time you hit it, it's a different number.
Mhm.
I kind of wish there's a mod where I could turn that on. I bet you there is one if we look for it, but like to see like how much damage you're doing per punch or whatever. That would be fun
That would be interesting.
because, it's just such a stats-based game in combat. So it'd be actually nice to see that. And I remember asking Shalene, they were going to do something on their show, and they're going to base it by XP scored and something in Fallout 4. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go look and see how much XP I have on this level. And there's just the XP bar. It doesn't actually give you a number anymore. It usually would say like 485 out of 600. Like you have to get to 600, get to the next level or something. You know what I mean? But like for some reason, Fallout 4 doesn't actually tell you the exact number. It just gives you the bar and you have to guesstimate. It's really weird.
Doesn't Skyrim tell you how far you are, or no?
I think I don't know. Ray, you're playing Skyrim currently. I'm not.
Yeah, but I never pay attention to that stuff.
Because I feel like I've gone in and been like, oh, I only need 100 more XP to get to wherever, like trying to map out. I don't know, but it just seems like it would be very easy to like. I don't know, like the gnomes in the basement at Bethesda could just go like in for that.
Now that I think about it, I'm also thinking it just says what level you are, and it has a bar with a blue color line going across indicating how far you are. I don't think it actually tells you exactly how much XP you have. They're trying to not let us see the dice, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, just play the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it more realistic, I'm sure. Like it makes it more immersive to not look at all the data and have all that information, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
and they really just want you to explore the map. So
right now that we're playing Dungeons and Dragons through Colin, I really see how Fallout is the dungeon master. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting to see it that way now. It's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool, Jen. I like the proto gauntlet. I thought that was a funny comment. That is true. The room full of monkeys is ridiculous. She had a festering glowing one. What level is she?
Yeah, it's got to be up there.
Is festering? It might be higher than I've ever been. I don't know if I've seen
I've seen a festering one before.
I'm
right?
at the probably. I don't know. I'm at the level where like I'm getting the bloated. I like those. Those are the fat ones. The chubby ghouls.
Imagine the smell that happens when those things come apart,
What do you think do you think a glowing one smells worse or different in any way?
It's bloated or festering? I mean, come on.
But glowing one specifically, because those are even more radiated, I guess. Gosh. Yeah, festering. That sounds like stinkier than bloated. Sounds pretty stinky too, though. They all sound terrible.
Yeah, when they pop.
Oh God, Ray. Gross. And I see a lot of popping when I'm using Adam's Judgment. Like heads fucking boom. Yeah. Especially because I'm using Bloody Mess as well. Eyeballs and shit just go flying. It's crazy.
That's what I was gonna say. You put Bloody Mess in there, they're always gonna come flying apart.
Oh God. Speaking of ghouls, guys, there was something I wanted to ask you. I don't know who. I have Hancock with me. Does he use a sword?
Usually a shotgun.
A shotgun. Yeah. Weird. But anyway, I come out of a battle and I see a ghoul coming at me, and he's had his head sliced in like a diagonal angle across his face, so like half of his head is missing. But he's still coming at me, and I'd never seen them missing most of their head come at me before. Does that happen?
Yeah, it's just like their arms and legs. You can chop them off, and they still keep coming.
But their head. He had no brain.
It's only half their head, and they're not using their brain.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, I guess they just need most of the brain stem anyway. They just need the motory, stuff anymore. The mobility stuff. Jen wants to relocate the Ghoul family. I think that would be really cool to do as well. What were they called? I don't remember. Peabody or something, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really need to be living so close to the gunners.
Yeah, that's true. You could send them. Oh, perfect move here. You know how you send What's It from the Vault Tech thing and the Hotel Rexford send him off to Sanctuary? You should send them off to Sanctuary too and have like a little ghoul reunion. That'd be great. It'd be super fun. Her quest marker kept moving with the explosions. It usually only happens after the robot automatron thing. What was happening there, actually?
So it was probably, because it prompts you to put that Silver Shroud calling card on the body of whoever it was that you killed. And so if you keep blowing them up and they keep moving, as their body flies across the street and around the corner and down the block, the quest marker is going to keep moving with them.
But she mentioned specifically Automatron having something to do with it, making me think that the person was fighting robots and she couldn't get to the fight before the person was killed, and therefore after the robot killed the body, the quest marker disappeared. I could be wrong and I could be misunderstanding what she was getting at there, but I thought that was weird.
Yeah,
interesting.
Well, those darn robots are everywhere after you start that fight by the electronic shop.
And I like it so much because then you can turn Codsworth into a badass.
Yeah.
I know you don't mess around with followers, but the Automatron really does add a lot with the robots. I really like the robot followers with the, because you can swap them out with their skills with the lockpicking and hacking and stuff like that, and change them from laser to melee or whatever you want to do. I really like having the robot followers. I know you don't generally.
Yeah, not so much.
Take anyone around.
Convenient. I don't mess with like lockpicking and hacking and all that. I just get annoyed.
Yeah, I never really take those perks anymore because I've learned that as soon as I finish Automatron, I can just get a robot to do that for me. And, Sarah, I have those good intentions and always try to remember, there's a master locked something or other here. I'm going to come back here later, totally. And I never ever do.
It's like instantly forgotten for me.
And I'm sure Ray mentioned some sort of beacon mod or something.
That's right.
Yeah. I need to mark that stuff. Yeah. Cool. Good feedback, Jen.
Yep.
Really cool.
I really like it. I like that she specified that her dress was freshly laundered. That's important in the wasteland.
Yes.
That's important.
Is it that green one? Is she wearing the red sequin? What's she wearing?
I think the one that's freshly laundered is the green one. Like it's like cotton or whatever. I don't even know that it does anything for you, does it? Did she say? I missed that part. I was laughing at freshly laundered.
Maybe it gives you a +1 charisma or something.
Maybe.
Makes you look snappy.
Yeah.
Makes you look snappy.
What's the outfit called? Sorry, what's the outfit called that you start the game with, that blue blouse with the gray slacks?
I don't know. Does that still exist?
I don't remember.
Find it out in the wasteland somewhere?
I think you can.
I can never find things that there's such a specific amount of things that fit under armor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm always trying to see will this fit under my armor? Will this fit under my armor? But no, I just always end up naked.
Yeah, back on. What is it? It's like vault suit, long johns, Raiders leathers.
Road leathers.
Road leathers, I mean, sorry, yeah.
The Brotherhood of Steel uniform,
that orange, the orange jumpsuit. Yeah.
And then jeans and a ratty t-shirt, I think are the only thing I found.
What about the summer shorts outfit with the visor and stuff? How about that?
We'll have to try that.
Oh, that's a good outfit.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, it's really cute. Have you seen it before? It's got some really cute shorts and
it'll take ballistic weave.
Yeah, you can put ballistic weave in it, and you can be a badass in a bikini, basically.
I'm on board.
It's fun. I'm not sure if I know any permanent locations, but I think I've picked it up at that crazy buried church in the glowing sea. You know,
yeah,
that crazy buried church. I see, but I don't know if it's permanently there. I just randomly picked it up there. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell. We got more feedback, Ray.
We do. We get an update on Batty from Joshua.
Attaboy. His fantasy football team is called -1 kidney.
I know.
Good one. All right, here you go.
Hi, this is Josh with Batty's feedback for the quest of Kid in the Fridge, Silver Shroud, Big Dig, and Mountain Parking Garage. Let's see. So I am doing a Brotherhood playthrough, and I had previously done the Lost Patrol, but I haven't reported it to Dance. I'm trying to report it to him now, but it wouldn't let me report it. I had him at the time as a companion, so I sent him away, and then tried to turn it in, but that didn't work either. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'll keep trying. Maybe later on I'll be able to do that. So Kid in the Fridge, I ran into, I found Billy in the fridge, shot it open, and then told him that I would help him get home. Ran into Bullet not long after that. He wanted to buy Billy. I said no. I was going to take Billy home. On the way, I ran into a whole bunch of gunners. Took a while to defeat them, but was able to take them down. And then got Billy back home, and his parents were so happy. And then Bullet shows up with a gang of gunners. So we, Dance and I took them out, and then that quest was over. Let's see, I did the Big Dig earlier in the season because Hancock was my love interest, so I wanted to get him as a companion earlier. So I did that. I went against Bobby, but I was able to convince her to back down. I did have a little glitch during this where before getting into that final room, before they blast the, well, it's the ceiling for us, but the floor for the other people to get into that last area, Bobby wouldn't come into that room, that last room. She just stayed in the one previous to that. I couldn't, I just kept going in there. Thought, well, there's something I'm missing. Finally, I went ahead and did a quick save, and then I hit her with Adam's Judgment, knocked her across the room into the floor, and then she got up. She didn't get aggro with me, and she went into the room. So then I was able to continue that quest and get that completed. So let's see. On my way to Milton Parking Garage, I went over to Fairline Estates and found a house that's all chained up. I found a truck on the side that I could jump onto and then get up to the second level. I killed the 3 feral ghouls that were in there and found a quick draw shish kebab. And then I got a bunch of other different weapons in the house and also ammo. Dance was in there with me, and he started telling me his backstory about his old partner, Cutler. And then there were lots of traps in that house, and I cleared it out. And then I sold all the junk to Eleanor and got some more 5.56 ammo. So after that, went over to Milton Parking Garage. There are so many traps in that thing, but it was a lot of fun. I set off a few. I didn't die, which I was surprised at, but I got the loot from the cell on the left. The other one burned up when I pushed the button to open the grate. I don't think there's a way that you can get both of them, at least not one that I know. But I picked the one on the left because I saw fusion cores And since I'm doing a Brotherhood playthrough, I've been in Power Armor quite a bit lately. So I figured that would be helpful. After that, I got done with that. I actually fast traveled to Super Duper Mart for a Radiant quest. And as soon as I fast traveled there, there was a behemoth right on me, just whacking away. Luckily, I still had Adam's Judgment equipped and was able to use VATS and kill the behemoth with 2 hits. One of them was a critical. Adam's Judgment is just so powerful. Let's see. So I went ahead and I also doing a little bit of achievement hunting. I noticed that I didn't have the pillory achievement where you set up the stocks in one of your settlements and then just assign a settler to it. That ended up on Xbox coming up as a rare achievement. Only 1.78% of people have done that. The other thing that I'm working on right now is building some the cages. I've never done any of that stuff before, and I want to set it up so that I can have that a fight between some people. But I've got to raise my charisma a couple levels and get animal friend and animal whisperer, I guess, to be able to build that beacon so that it'll keep them calm until I want them to fight. Let's see. Oh, Silver Shroud. This is one of my favorite quests. I really like this one. It's always fun to play as a superhero. So this part, even though I'm doing a Brotherhood playthrough, I went ahead and ditched the power armor for this playthrough, so I would be running around in the Silver Shroud armor. Did all the little side quests part to it, killing the different criminals and then getting the attention of Sinjin. Unfortunately, then that meant that Sinjin went after my buddy Kent and kidnapped him, and so I had to go after him to save him. I ended up getting to the area where Sinjin is holding Kent, and I always use like buff jet or ultra jet, something to slow down time a little bit, to hopefully get off some extra shots, to try and kill Sinjin and his partner before they kill Kent. Because if you don't kill both of them, they'll kill Kent. Unfortunately, I forgot the first time that I played it that I was using an explosive shotgun, so I killed Kent. I was so distraught that I allowed the raiders to murder me. And then I tried it again and switched my weapon to December's Child and the 5.56 ammo rifle that I've been using a lot. And was able to successfully kill both Sinjin and his cohorts before they killed Kent. So Kent was very disappointed. Didn't want to do anything with crime fighting anymore. But I talked him into just having a break, and I'm hopeful to get the call from him soon that he's got some upgrades for my Silver Shroud armor. So that's about it. I'm at level 53 right now. I've taken all my assigned perks. I'm having a lot of fun with this playthrough. I just started the quest to rebuild Liberty Prime, so I'm excited to see that. I've destroyed Liberty Prime in previous playthroughs, so I'm excited to actually build it up. So I will see you all in the Wasteland.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. So one of the things you got to watch out for when you take Billy back to his parents' house is getting too close to Quincy, because that thing is packed with gutters. and they will come out and get you.
Well, and also as Sarah and both Jen can attest, better stay the fuck away from the Mirelurks up at that pond across the way too.
Right.
Yeah. There's a narrow path that you have to traverse to stay out of trouble there.
And then you got to deal with some asshole who's trying to buy a child.
No, he's easy to take care of.
It's just so creepy, Ray. He said he's at level 53. He has all of his assigned perks, and that had me thinking, of course it depends on what perks you're assigned, because certain perks have different levels of points you can invest into them. But what do you think is the lowest level you can be to get all of your assigned perks in an hour system? Does my question make sense?
Yeah, I guess it really depends on the fairness factor, right?
Because that's true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you have to dump perk points into levels in a special stat, then that's going to take away from how quick you can up your assigned perks.
Speaking of dumping perk points, Ray, oh my god, he's got to get like Animal Whisperer.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get the Animal Friend. He's got to get, if he wants to do like Death Claws and monsters and stuff, it's not just the animal one. He's got to get the Wasteland one too, where you get the monsters.
The creatures, yep.
And then there's one for people too. If you want to have people fight each other, there's one where you can convince people to fight for you or whatever.
Yeah, intimidate.
That's a lot of points into charisma, because each one of those has their own multiple levels.
Yep.
So, and he's going perk hunting, and that is the whole reason why he's using all those, because he wants to do the arena thing. I still have not done that at all ever. Ray, there's no fucking way you even got close to that stuff.
No, that is definitely a piece of the game I have not played.
I've never done it. I heard it was finicky to get things to fight and work correctly and dismiss, and you've got to like attract settlers with a bell or something and dismiss, and it's all crazy. I heard it was super finicky and hard to do. But I'm sure after a couple of patches, it's better now. I've just never heard of a lot of people doing it. So, Josh, I congratulate you if you actually get to that point. Let me know what sort of animals you like with the cages. I'm personally a fan of the cages. I had a character that I did basically all charisma and got all those things done, and it was fun to have like glowing death claws just wandering around your settlement. Just because you have like a beacon that makes them tame or something, which you can turn off and cause a fun party. That's always fun to do every once in a while, but it like hypnotizes them into just being chill. Just be cool, bro. Just be cool.
I don't know how to make it work. I have the Animal Friend perk, and it's like you have to aim at them and then hit a button or something, and
you have to pacify them first, right? You have to pacify them, and then they'll not attack you. And then you have to have yet another level of it to make them obey your command. Right. And if you have even yet another level of it, I think they'll be your follower and actually follow you around for a very short period of time. Maybe. Did I get that correct?
I think the third level, you can have them attack something else. I don't know if they'll follow you around, but I haven't gotten that far yet.
I've definitely had
anything yet.
I've definitely had feral ghouls follow me around as like temporary, extremely temporary. I'm talking less than a minute or two followers. They'll walk around with your party for a little while. It's fun. I like that stuff, but I don't do it often, or maybe I've only done it with one character, because it is just a severe investment of all your points are in charisma with that character. Right. That's what you're doing. But he's over level 50 anyway, so he's got points to kill. I guess.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I'm still in the 30s, I think.
I think I'm like 27. I'm like right in there.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at too. Yeah, I tried the Intimidate perk once, and the first time somebody shot me, I just said forget it and just went back to my normal MO.
So, meaning you attempted to pacify them and they said fuck off and shot back?
Yeah.
So you kill them.
I wonder what the success rate is. I didn't realize that they could.
Yeah,
It
it's
must-
definitely a percentage thing.
Yeah, it must
Yeah,
be
I
one of
think
those
so,
dice
too.
rolls we're not seeing. Nice. Let's see. What do I have written down here? Bobby. Oh, that shit at the front. What? Bobby was all bugged out on him.
That's great that he whacked her with the Adam's judgment and knocked sense into her.
Smashed her in her nose face and said, "Get to work," and she actually trotted off. That's awesome. Behemoth at the Super Duper Mart. If you guys remember, if the super deep fans of the show, I believe there was a question. Where are the super mutant behemoths in the game? That's come up. That's come up in some form. I don't know if that was a.
It was
King of the Bunker Hill, or
no, it was the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this must be one of them.
Did Shalene get all the answers? I think
someone did, right, and blew my mind. It was it had to be Shalene, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
She's so great. She's so great. Well, no, that's cool. No, at the Super Duper Mart, that must have been one of those guys.
Yep.
And then I wrote down the Adam's Judgment. He said it only took like a whack and a half. Take down the behemoth. Adam's Judgment is powerful. Josh, does that mean you're doing melee and have all the investment into the big leagues perk and all that? Because it just gets absolutely. You think Adam Judgment raw is it's a force to be reckoned with, but when you add up all the extra damage with big leagues and what else, like Bloody Mess and stuff like that, where you can add like the 5, 10, and 15% damage and stuff, it gets crazy.
Yeah, it's beast.
What was the pillory? Is that just where you lock people in the thing in the square?
Yeah, the blocks.
That's all you have to do?
Yeah.
You get that? I don't think I've ever done it.
Well, clearly only, what?
1%, did he say?
98.7% of players haven't done it. I did it to Preston once.
Oh, Ray.
And he was not amused.
Oh.
He made some offhand comment, like, really? This?
Well, he probably sent you off to go defend a settlement somewhere anyway. That'd be hilarious if he still was sending you out.
Yeah.
Super sweet. I like the cages. Good luck catching animals. See if you can catch a chicken and a rabbit and make those fight in an arena. Twitch stream that, please, if you would, Josh. Explosive shotgun blew up Kent. Good move. Switching to another.
Yeah, that was my problem. I just didn't bother to switch to another weapon.
Rage is like, oh, fuck it. I think we mentioned last time. Craig said you're a monster if you don't reload. If you killed Kent,
yeah,
you need to save Kent, or else you're a monster.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the first one to accuse me of that.
Awesome, right on. Really good feedback, Josh. Glad you're feeling better and still sending stuff in to us, man.
Yeah, and there is no way to get both rooms of loot at the parking garage. The other one always burns up. So
you can get a lot of the other one, but you can't get it all.
Yeah.
If you sneak behind it, there's a screen where you can duck down and sort of get everything. I think there's some fusion cores that you can't reach, but you can reach a lot of the stuff in that room. And if you want to get most of the stuff, that's what you want to do. You want to opt for the other room, but go clean out the fusion core room first behind. Even though you can't actually get the fusion cores, but get the other stuff and then choose the other room.
Yeah, there's just not very much in that other room. There's some chems and
yeah.
Other than that, not much.
So maybe just get the fusion cores then, right?
That's what I usually do.
Yeah. Do you use power armor? Or do you sell them? What do you do with them?
Sell them.
You don't use power armor very much.
No.
No. They're good money.
Too clunky.
Yeah. Cha-chunk, cha-chunk, cha-chunk. You're sneaking. Cha-chunk, cha-chunk. Oh, that's great.
All right. So we got Leon up next.
Great.
Good day, this is Leon from Texas, recording my feedback from the Fallout Feed Roundtable. So for this feedback, we'll start with Kid in a Fridge. So I went down from University Point and came across the Kid in the Fridge, and Billy, I believe his name is. And so I actually started taking him home, and I intentionally avoided Bullet. I was just going to ignore him the entire time. But I wound up getting caught in a firefight near Quincy. It wasn't all of Quincy, but it was listed the gunners up on the overpass. And so while I'm doing this fighting, Bullet walks, I think that's his name. He walks up to me and is like, "So, did you change your mind?" He didn't even, like go through the normal conversation. He just was like acting like I had already talked to him and turned him down. He's like, "So, did you change your mind? I'll still buy that kid." And so I'm like, "I ain't got time for you." So I just vaxed him and shot his head off and blew him away. And dead Bullet. And then I finished the firefight. I finished escorting Billy home. Interestingly enough, Billy's dad still said, "Thank you for saving us from that guy, that man and his friends," even though there were never any friends the entire time. So, anyways, that was just kind of a miss on the line, but not like it's that big a deal. Then we go to the Big Dig. Big Dig's, I actually probably would have avoided that quest this time because it just doesn't fit with kind of my role play. But I kind of saw it as more of a just, I don't know exactly what's going on. And so I need a few caps. So did the beginning part of that quest, killed the Mirelurks, got knocked up to lieutenant for Bobby. Went and rescued Mel out of prison from his 1 day of prison. I believe there's another way to do that quest. In the past, one of the times I've done it, there's a out of control protectron, in the back that if you activate goes nuts and starts killing all the security guards, I believe. I didn't do it this time. This time I just had a high enough charisma. I talked to the guard and he's like, "Yeah, sure. I didn't realize Mel had any friends, so yeah, we'll let him out." So then Mel's goes, talks to you, and then heads over to Good Neighbor. So then I headed back, did through the quest. I did stop and get the armor. I actually threw my mod companion Heather into it, and I didn't realize that that actually gave me affection with her the first time you put her in power armor. So that was kind of cool. She's actually now wearing power armor for the rest of the time. I was like, "Oh, okay, well, since you like it, I'll let you keep it." I got like 5 sets, so it's no big deal. When we get up to Fahrenheit, turns out Bobby lied to me. After everything else going on, Bobby lied to me. So I tried to play nice and convince her to leave, but she wouldn't. So then I just, took her out and got my reward from Fahrenheit and was like, "So long, whatever." Now the Silver Shroud. I love the Silver Shroud quest. It's a great quest. It's funny. It's kind of neat that they actually put some extra lines and they actually carried it over into Nuka World 2 in the western area. So Dry Gulch. I had to think for a second. So with I've never been able to get that quest to activate until after I've done Big Dig. Even though every time I go to Good Neighbor, I listen to Silver Shroud Radio. For whatever reason, I don't know if that's part of it, if you have to do Big Dig first, or I'm just having bad luck. But either way, I couldn't do it until after Big Dig. So I went and talked to Kent. he told me about Silver Shroud. I had already been to Hubris Comics. I had all the stuff, so I'm like, here you go, here's all your stuff. And then he convinced me to be the Silver Shroud. So I'm like, okay, I can be the avenging vigilante. So I do all the things he wants me to do, and I actually got some good affection with Paladin Dance when I went after the guy selling chems to kids. He was really happy that I took that guy out, and I did not do the optional side contract to finish the assassination job up at the National Guard Armory. I didn't even bother picking up the contract, so the quest never actually showed up in my log, so that's good. I love the fact that you can fast travel into Bunker Hill, turn a little bit, and there's Smiling Kate. And so I took my 50 caliber sniper out and just started plinking away at him. So I didn't even move from my fast travel point. It was pretty funny. Then north, you kill him. Then you go to Malden Medical Center and work your way through that. If you have power armor, you can. I did not, but I have done it in the past. When you come to the first kind of room to the left, there's a hole in the ceiling. That's the hole that when you're done with the quest, you kind of fall back through. If you have power armor, you can just kind of jump up there and kind of skirt a bunch of the NPCs. So I've done that in the past, if I remember correctly, but I didn't do it this time. Let's see, then St. John. So when we get to St. John, you're going down the elevator, you know you're coming across that conversation. So I buffed up my charisma, took some great mentats, ate a peak sprinkle bar, donut, drank some alcohol, did everything I could to bump my charisma, put my charisma suit on. No, I didn't put my charisma suit on. I apologize, because I still needed to wear my silver shroud armor, but I did everything else. And so I go in and I only talk as the Silver Shroud to St. John. And so he's like, you're not real. And eventually by the end of it, I've convinced all his goons to run away. And St. John's so nervous that he starts shooting at me instead of St. John, so I'm able to take him out without killing Kid. So then his goons are still there. And so they're bad guys. So I just went around and took them out, bullet to the head, bullet to the head, bullet to the head. And they were dead. And then I looted everything. Kent's all nervous, so I go back to Good Neighbor, talk to Kent and Hancock, and convince Kent to keep fighting the good fight, and then get my upgraded Silver Shroud armor. That is now the armor I'm going to use for the rest of the game. So I will be the Silver Shroud for the rest of the game. Now, before I left the Silver Shroud, the medical center, I did cross over and go to the parking garage. And went through there. I like that because it's kind of like an early design for what they turned into the Gauntlet of Nuka World. So that one's a cool one. And went through there. Now, when I go there, because I like power armor. Paladin Dance is currently running around with a Gatling laser, stuff like that. So a lot of my settlers have Gatling lasers or Fat Man. So I really like fusion cores. So I always choose the one on the left because there's like 3 fusion cores in it. I never bother with the one on the right. So that was my experiences for this feedback. I'll see you in the wasteland.
Awesome. Thanks, Leon.
Super sweet, man. Yeah, it's funny how when we talk about things, the people's on subsequent feedbacks sort of also stumble upon, like he mentioned the Quincy. Oh God, I was trying to do the Kid in the Fridge, but I stumbled upon fucking assholes in Quincy having a gunfight. I thought that was sweet how Bullet's quest was just kind of jumped into the middle, like halfway through. That was really interesting.
Yeah, you can kind of get into if he starts to talk to you and you don't engage him in conversation, it triggers him to the next the next conversation. So you can oftentimes, and it'll happen a lot of times with a lot of different NPCs like this one, where they have a kind of a range that they start to engage you in. And
Ignore me, will you?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I suppose it might be a little nicer if you would just shoot Bullet and take the money out of his inventory. But you you got to keep Billy in line. You got to keep him on his toes.
Keep Billy in line.
Yeah, the little punk. You don't want to get all, up in your grill.
The little punk? You mean the child that says, don't let them hurt me? That
how
little
old
punk?
how old is he really? I mean, he had to have been at least 11
12.
or 12.
Yeah, he's 12, right?
Yeah.
Still a child. Come on.
I mean,
Come on.
Some civilizations would have already had him at war.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. He's already been through war.
So
with himself in a dark fridge.
Yeah.
Leon brought up a really good point that made me think, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to express this question correctly, but he said that he would not have normally done the big dig with this character. So that made me think, I wonder how much the determination of our quest selection and what we do through assignments for the roundtable actually determine like a direction a player will take with their character instead of just developing a backstory and following that, like the bobblehead season. What the fuck does our character how do you build that into a role play?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be kind of like a Tomb Raider thing.
Yeah, and then that artifact that you collect gives you a fucking magical power. Like it's just so weird to have to try to build that into a character role assignment.
But everyone is, everyone that does do the backstory has all been so creative in making it fit,
Yeah. I just thought that was a really interesting thought, Leon. Yeah. I was like, oh, so the assigned quest do kind of dictate character or something. Or you can just kind of look the other way and be like, oh, whatever, I'm going to do it for the show, and it doesn't really affect this character. Just ignore that part.
I was going to say that you can pick up the Silver Shroud quest prior to doing the big dig.
I know that I've gotten the radio signal. I don't know that I've not done it before or not. I don't know. I like it when your followers pick up your power armor. He sounded almost a little bitter about that, Leon. I kind of like it when they pick up power armor and a fat man or a minigun or something. I like Travis when he picks up power armor. That's always great. He mentioned the Silver Shroud story continues in Nuka World in the Western Zone. What do you know about that, Ray?
Not too much. I'll have to look that up because that could be interesting. I love those little bits of dialogue that they do in the Silver Shroud. And, like I mentioned last week, maybe whenever it was last time we were on, the female version just absolutely cracks me up. So
with her boisterous voice, or
when she speaks like the Silver Shroud,
it's pretty amazing.
It's it's very forced sounding.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's really fun though. I like, and the Mechanist also has stuff, right? And the Automatron DLC, doesn't the Mechanist have? Didn't we talk about that? Is there special dialogue if you're wearing the outfit or something?
It's been so long since I actually played and kept the outfit on.
I'm really impressed. He said he is now wearing the Silver Shroud armor. He is now the Silver Shroud forevermore. I thought that, well, shit, Leon, that's great.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun way to play.
Does Leon use mods? He's on Xbox, right?
I think he does sometimes, but seems to me this time he wasn't.
So Kent puts on mods for you, so you wouldn't be able to mod it or put on ballistic weave, of course, and I doubt you can't put on pieces of armor over it either, right? But we discussed the stats of the armor. It gets fairly high.
Yeah, it's ballistic weave essentially.
Yeah. Sweet. Good luck with that, Leon. Yeah. I'm really interested to see the Nuka World connection. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He also mentioned something like a pink sprinkled donut for charisma. Is that from? It must be from the Slocum Joe's Creation Club.
Yeah.
Pack or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fun. I should stop being a cheap bastard and buy some of those that look cool every once in a while. I always get all the free ones, Ray.
Yeah. Yeah, the donut shop does look like it's cool, and it's I think so. Pat has it, and I think he was in a pink set of power armor with sprinkles. In one of his Twitch streams, it was pretty hilarious.
the pink power armor had sprinkle paint job.
Yep.
That's really great. That's really cool.
Huzzah. Yeah, that alone almost made me buy it, but
yeah, and they have all the buff stuff, all the food, the coffee, the different mixes, the snacks and bread and baked goods and all that too.
Yep.
It'd be really good, a really good addition. Oh, I know why Pat got it, because it's really good for survival mode to have all that, those extra buffs, and those food items and stuff. Nice. Awesome, Leon. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Yep.
Who we got next?
So next up is Mark.
We've got two for Mark, right?
Yeah, I'll blend them together.
Attaboy. Thanks, Ray. That's production.
My friends, I come to you today with a heavy heart. As of September 2nd, Father's Day in New Zealand, our good friend Inspector Wilhelmina Langland is no longer with us. At a ripe young level, 43, she was gone too soon due to a corrupted hard drive, but she will not be forgotten. Let us take a moment to remember Inspector Wilhelmina Langland. Now make way for Adrienne Ward. She was the airsoft champion of the United States, and she's coming back with a bang. Only this time, it's real bullets. We'll see ya in the next Fallout feed coming soon to you.
Hiya, it's me, your fortnightly disappointment, Mark with a W, and I've had one hell of a 2 weeks, I'm telling you now. So, you might have heard the news. I lost my character, whatever her name was, I can't remember, I've already forgotten her. Started a new one, Adrienne Ward, re-rolled that. So she's got, like, her settlement's the castle, and her faction is the railroad. So I'm not touching the railroad for the sake of, I think it's quarter mastery we're doing later on. So I've been doing some Minutemen stuff on top of catching up with the quests that we've already done, so I'm not too squishy for when we go down south for Kid in the Fridge. And on top of being flat out with work and stuff like that, I've only just managed to get up to, I started the Silver Shroud,
what was I I think I was finishing off the Here There Be Monsters with the youngster, because that was crashing anyway. So I think there must have been something wrong with the save file in there somewhere to make everything just go poof. But it's all right. I guess it's probably not very interesting to listen to. I'm sorry, but I'm catching up. I'm getting there. I didn't want to leave you hanging. I wanted to send at least something through to stay supportive and all that. I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone else has been doing. But next time, I guess I'll see you in another 2 weeks, hopefully with a bit more to report on, and I'll be all up to date by then. Finally on the last shift of the week now, so I can smash a whole bunch out while I'm listening to the podcast tonight. So thanks for everything you're doing. I just want to drop that in there as well. I think it's just really great, getting all these people together. I never would have met, and just getting a chat with people. I think it's absolutely awesome what you're doing, so keep it up, and have a good night, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. Holy crap, Mark. The reason we do this is for the community aspect of it, the feedback. That's the whole purpose of the roundtables, to draw everybody in. Have a like experience in a single player game is hard to do. You know what I mean? So we came up with that structure for the roundtable just to have everybody to have a basis to have a like experience and journeys to explore together. So it's really great that everybody hops in, and if it weren't for the dedication of you guys out there sending in feedback, this project wouldn't be nearly as successful as it's been. It takes you guys to send in all the feedback and be consistent and have just really good thoughts on the game. It's a great community experience. So we'd like to return the kudos to everyone out there. So thanks for everything you guys do out there. Oh, and by the way, RIP to your previous character. She is gone and already forgotten.
in a 2-minute span. He was crying about her and had already forgotten her name.
Yeah, all the pomp and circumstance of the first one, and the second one was like, oh,
what's her name?
Who's he? What's it? What's her douche? Who's her name? I don't know. What's her name? All right. Thank you, Mark. Awesome feedback, sir.
Okay, we got Rebecca up next.
Sweet. Looking forward.
Hello everyone, this is Rebecca with an update on Flash. I haven't been able to do this feedback like a story this time because there's too much of it, so here are the main points. While she was in Good Neighbour, one of the neighbourhood watch told Flash that Bobby No-Nos was looking for someone to join her crew, although he warned her that there's always a catch with the No-Nos. Flash agreed to help Bobby, who asked her to go and recruit a guy called Mel in Diamond City. While she was there, she noticed that there were loads of synths wandering around the marketplace. One of them approached her and said, "Hello, Mother. We are here to make the Institute's presence known to the surface." She found Mel locked up in the security offices and bribed a guard to let him out. Back in Good Neighbour, Bobby told them that their target was the mayor of Diamond City's strong room, which they would tunnel into. Mel used an iBot called Sonia to blast through the walls. Sonia was tuned to Diamond City radio, and at one point she played Flash's Institute speech, which was a bit embarrassing and cringy. Luckily it was dark down there, so they couldn't see Flash blushing and she couldn't see their disapproving looks. So they blasted their way through a load of tunnels and eventually ended up in a room where the ceiling collapsed and crushed Sonia. Bobby said it didn't matter though, because they'd reached their destination. But they came face to face with Fahrenheit, who told them that they had in fact broken into Mayor Hancock's strong room. Bobby had intended that all along and told Flash to help her take out Fahrenheit. Flash tried to convince Bobby to leave, but she attacked her and was killed in the fight. Mel seemed really annoyed with Flash, even though she'd tried to end the situation peacefully, and it was actually Bobby who initiated the fight. Back in Good Neighbor again, Flash decided to take Hancock with her for a while, and they went to see Kent Connolly in the memory den. Dr. Amari and Irma were really upset with Flash and said that she's no longer welcome there now that she's a member of the Institute. Kent asked her to get the Silver Shroud costume for him, which she did, and she also picked up the Grognak costume, which seemed perfect for her because it increases the wearer's strength and melee damage. I've never put it on any of my characters before, so I tried it on Flash, and it's really ugly, so I just swapped straight back. Flash followed Kent's instructions and killed a load of people before finding out from Irma, who is now talking to her, that Kent had been kidnapped by Sinjin. She found them in Milton General Hospital and intimidated Sinjin's men, killed him, and saved Kent. One of Sinjin's raiders was called Avery, which is the same name as the lady in Far Harbor, isn't it? When they left Milton General Hospital, they saw a door surrounded by arrows, so of course they went straight in like you would. It was some kind of maze which appeared to have been set up by a psychopath. It was full of traps, mines, grenades, dead ends, and dead bodies. There was a beautiful Christmas tree in there with a decapitated head on the top, very festive. At the end of the maze, there was a room with a bed, a weapons workbench, and a magazine. Hancock said it looked like they'd just missed whoever was there, which Flash thought was probably for the best. Then they found the kid in a fridge. He was called Billy, and he was a ghoul. He'd hidden in the fridge when the bombs fell, and he'd been trapped there ever since. He asked Flash to take him back to his parents. There was an awkward moment where she felt sure that his parents must be dead, but she didn't know what to say to him, so she agreed to help him find his way home, and then she would work out what to do when they got there. She thought it was amazing how quickly Billy's eyes adjusted to the light, considering he hadn't seen daylight for over 200 years. A man called Bullet approached them and said that he wanted to buy Billy off of them. She obviously said no. They fought their way through Quincy, which is always a tough but fun fight, and found his parents, who were actually still alive and also ghouls. They were really grateful that she'd found their son. She was like, "He was literally just up the road, guys. You could probably have seen the fridge from one of the bedroom windows. Did you even bother looking for him?" Anyway, they immediately lost interest in the fact that they'd been reunited with their son, who they thought was dead, and when Flash tried to talk to them, they just said, "Huh?" and "Yes." So she went to talk to Billy instead, but he was just moaning that he can't go outside and play anymore and that all his friends are dead. As she was leaving the house, she found herself face to face with Bullet again, who was still insisting that she hand Billy over. She'd run out of patience with the whole situation at this point and told Bullet, "By the power invested in me by a bloke down at the Dugout Inn who knew for definite that I would find your kind guilty, I pronounce you a paedophile." And she shot him in the face. That's all for this time. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
Okay. That's one way to handle it.
How else are you going to deal with pedophiles, Ray? Come on.
No. So one thing that kind of dawned on me when she was talking, and a few of the other people that have talked about it. So I'm wondering if they aren't running some kind of a racket, and his parents take him back to the fridge, put him in, and then get unsuspecting travelers to take care of their gunner problem.
Very interesting, Ray. You're so mistrustful.
Well, it goes along with everything else. So
that's not even a word. Mistrustful, distrusting. What's the word? Jeez. Skeptical. You're a skeptic.
I think typically the one that gets thrown at me is cynical. So
cynical. There you go. Yeah. Huh. Very interesting. Rebecca, why no Grognak costume? It's not hideous at all. Have you seen any of my Twitch streams of my burly, handsome man in his Grognak costume? Belle looks good in it.
So it was really designed. The whole costume was designed for a male character.
I haven't actually seen it on a female. I don't think I should check that out. See what it looks like.
It looks pretty hideous.
Pretty ugly.
That's great.
Yeah, kind of baggy and just clumpy and
not cute. I agree.
No.
You're describing my fashion sense right now. Baggy and clumpy. That's those are two things I look for in a good pair of jeans. They got to be baggy and clumpy.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We could flip. I know we've been doing food talk, Sarah, but if you want to go roll off into fashion talk, I watch those stupid models of the runway shows with my wife all the time.
Models of the runway.
Whatever the fuck they're called, I watch those now. There's like 6 of them, aren't there? I don't know.
Project Runway. I think there's like 13.
Yeah.
Or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
America's Next Top Model. Are you just putting them together?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. They're all one show to me in my mind. It's just like X Factor and America's Got Most Talented Singers of Talent Show, Star Search, basically. You know what I mean? All those talent shows are all the same to me. They're all...
At least you watch them with her. That's nice of you to do.
Oh, my wife doesn't watch those. I watch those with my mom when she's over helping us watch Mo. She likes to watch those shows, so I'll watch those with her. I try to hold my tongue.
I
loved how it's hard.
I loved how Rebecca would had her institute speech.
Yeah,
over the radio.
That's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hi.
I like how the parents don't say anything after you complete the quest. They're just like, "Huh? Yes."
Yeah, they want you to move along so they can go put Billy back.
Exactly. Billy's like, I can't go outside and all of my friends are dead. That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig around in the swamp. You'll find them out there somewhere, Billy.
She made a good point about Billy's eyes. How do they adjust to the light so quickly? Shouldn't he be like a cave fish or like Gollum with giant, big, fucking huge eyes or something?
Why? He's only been in the fridge for a couple hours.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Ray.
See, it's all coming together.
Jeez. It's proof. Have you written an article about this? We need to draft something up to post on Reddit.
No.
That's really cool. She started off with bribing the guard. Did I know that was an option? How much does that cost?
I don't remember.
I should have. I mean, I just kind of asked him, and my charisma check got me past. But I've always done like nefarious things in the past, and had to kill people and stuff, and I felt gross about it. I guess I didn't realize bribery was an option. That's much easier. It's probably only like 200 or 300 caps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that next time, Andrew. Great. I always like Rebecca's feedback. Thanks for your flash stories.
All right. Next up, we have Sarah. And Tales of Josiah.
This is Sarah Saylor with character feedback for Josiah. Figured I would get this in as early as I can today. I'm slacking. I'm supposed to be packing right now. But anyway, I've had an interesting couple of weeks with playback. We started off with Kid in the Fridge. Poor Billy, been stuck in a fridge for 200 years. Couldn't imagine how bad that would suck. Anyway, so we're wandering around. I got McCready with me, and we hear this kid, yelling for help. So we went over. I thought about telling him that, his parents were probably dead, but I decided against that. And we started heading out. And the first thing that I can say about this quest was motherfucking Mirelurks. I hate Mirelurks. I think that they're disgusting. They are just nasty, and they're crawling around with their twitchy little feet, and I don't like them. I don't like them at all, which is funny because I like seafood. But anyway, so I died because out of nowhere, a Mirelurk King popped out near the cabin. I can't think of the name of it, where the Mirelurks are hanging out. So had to start over. Got Billy back out of the fridge, and we headed off again. And we snuck past that place, and then we ran into the gunner guy whose name that I can't remember, and I didn't think to take notes. Anyway, whenever I seen him, I was like, you know what? I should probably save myself a lot of trouble and just kill him. But I didn't. I told him to F off because I wasn't going to sell him a kid because, that's wrong. And we don't believe in slavery here, you know? And so we headed to Quincy to take Billy back to his parents. I decided not to, keep him around or anything because that would be wrong. Anyway, so we get to Quincy, and there was some more death, some more death of me, and my first trip through, I tried to just go through the town, guns blazing. Doesn't really work well whenever you have a strength of 2. So I, after about the 3rd or 4th time of dying, and Captain Cuddles, which is my son, he's like, "Hey mom, you died again." Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, after having Captain Cuddles tell me that I had died again, I decided to go another way to get to the house where Billy's parents live at. And so we snuck around. I mean, we had to kill some gunners because killing gunners is fun. And we made it to the house, and Billy's all happy to see his parents. And I mean, I'm just going to put this out there. What kind of parents, leave their kid in a fridge for 200 years? And I mean, I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, well, they probably thought that, the bombs got him or whatever. But I mean, you don't look for your kid. And not only that, he was a really long effing way away. How did he get way, way, way that far away playing in a fridge? I'm just saying, terrible parents. And I almost feel bad for taking them back or taking him back to his negligent parents. But, there's no social services to take the kid to in the Commonwealth. Who knew? So, while I was doing this particular quest with McCready, he gave me the option to do the second part of his, personal quest, which is to go to MedTech to find the cure for his son Duncan. So we, after getting Billy back to his parents, and oh yeah, I killed all of the gunners. All the gunners that were in Quincy, I killed them dead because, I got to thinking about it, and those were the assholes who, killed all the Minutemen. And even though I'm not, Minutemen loyal, in this particular playthrough, I like the Minutemen. I think that they honestly are who is looking out for the Commonwealth. Well, so Billy's back with his family. There's no more gunners in Quincy. Everything's going good. Let's see, after selling some stuff and everything, we headed down to over, I guess it would be. I don't really have much of a sense of direction, and it's sad because it's the truth in real life too. But that's neither here nor there. So we headed to MedTech, and we got the cure for Duncan. We killed a lot of ghouls. And then McCready, he is Josiah's love interest. So now they're a couple, and he keeps making crude jokes about mute fruit and everything whenever they go to sleep. So that's always really fun. So whenever we headed back to, actually, after that, we didn't. I'm jumping ahead. Actually, after that quest, we didn't. It wasn't whenever McCready. I got McCready's full affinity or whatever. That's coming up later on. Forgot. Humorous story. Anyway, so we head back to Good Neighbor to take the cure to Daisy. And after that is whenever I picked up the quest for the Silver Shroud, which I love the Silver Shroud. I think it's hilarious. I think Ray mentioned if you're playing as a female character, it's absolutely hilarious because you're doing this over the top voice. And Captain Cuddles, my son, is he thinks it's just great. He's a big Batman fan, but the first time he heard the female soul survivor speaking as the Shroud, he was like, "Mom, I don't think you should do that anymore. That's kind of weird." But anyway, so we met up with Kent, and I really like Kent. He's just, there's something really, really sweet and innocent about Kent. I think he is just such a great NPC. So we went to Hubris Comics, picked up the Silver Shroud costume and the script and the Silver Shroud silver machine gun prop. And then we headed back to Good Neighbor and gave them to Kent, and he fixed them all up for us. And we headed out, and we took care of the first villain. And in the middle of the fight with the second villain, that is actually when McCready decided that he was just in love with me, and he couldn't live without me and all of that. So that is whenever I got full affinity for him, not after the Kid in the Fridge. I don't know. I was thinking it was after Kid in the Fridge, but anyway, I really need to start writing this stuff down. It would make my life so much easier, but there's the chaos. The chaos is good. So we took care of the villains, the Silver Shroud villains, and then it came to the point where Sinjin takes Kent. And the very first time that I'd done this quest, before I learned which speech check to use to keep Sinjin from killing Kent, I reloaded my save about 20 times because I was determined that Kent was not going to die on my watch, because like I said, there's just something really innocent about him, and I think he's great. So this time I didn't have to reload my save because I kind of called Sinjin's bluff and told him that he should kill me first, before killing Kent, and that would just, hurt Kent even more. I took Sinjin out. It was a pretty good fight. And then met back up with Kent and Hancock in Good Neighbor. And that's actually, I sent McCready back to Home Plate, which is the settlement that I'm using right now. I know Andrew says that it sucks, but PC gamer, so I have it modded to where Home Plate for me is a full settlement. I can have Brahmin in my place if I want to. Anyway, it's not a very big place. I don't recommend having Brahmin there, but anyway, I sent McCready back to Home Plate, and I took Hancock with me. Maybe. No, I didn't. Okay, that is not true. Me and McCready went and took out, we went to do I forgot about Bobby No-Nos, who I don't like Bobby. And on another character, I had mentioned this in chat last week. on another character. At a certain point, Bobby is essential, and so you can't kill her. And so I thought it was really fun to pickpocket grenades into her pocket, and it knocks her down and everything whenever it blows up, but it doesn't kill her. And she just keeps getting back up, and put another grenade in her pocket, and she just keeps getting back up. It's hilarious. I've done that for like 10 minutes, which is really, really sad. Anyway, so I done the big dig, and again, motherfucking mire lurks everywhere. All the mire lurks. I swear, they're so gross. Anyway, we do the big dig, and we get to the part where you find out that Bobby is, trying to screw over Hancock. And I decided that, Bobby, she just, she's deceitful, she's trouble, and she just doesn't deserve to live anymore. So I killed Bobby, and then again went back and met with Hancock, and that is whenever I took him as a companion and sent McCready back to home plate. And Hancock and I headed out. He's my friend. We're chilling and everything, and we headed out to do the Milton parking garage. And yeah, that's the first time I had ever been through there, and like I'm sneaking along and taking apart everything because stuff. I like stuff. Stuff's good. And yeah, whoever came up with that one, it is pretty twisted in there. I made it through it without dying though, so we had a lot of death at the beginning of my game through for this week, but not so much towards the end. I made it to the second point of affinity with Hancock, and he likes it. I had mentioned in my last recording that I had accidentally picked up Chem Resistant. So now I'm really pleased that I did, because where I only have a strength of 2, I'm constantly having to use Buff Out. And so before I was constantly addicted to Buff Out, and now I have Chem Resistant, both stars leveled in Chem Resistant. So my character is constantly on the Buff Out. And Hancock, he loves it when you do chems. I mean, but yes, I am a Buff Out addict at this point. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do next. I'm wanting to progress the main storyline, so I'm probably heading off to the Glowing Sea to take care of finding Virgil. And yeah, that's everything. I will see you all in the wasteland. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Sarah.
Awesome feedback. Mirelurks, man, I agree. Horrible.
So they are handled nicely with automatic explosive shotguns.
Yeah. I hate that you can like hear them coming after you. They're like,
yeah, that little.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. They're like big, giant crab spiders.
Yeah. Well, and when you hear them pop up out of the ground.
Oh yeah, you're like, oh shit.
Another Mirelurk.
Ugh, dang it. Yeah. And yeah, I think I'm on board with your theory, Ray. And Sarah kind of hit on it. Like they're either super negligent parents or they're shady.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely There's something weird going on there. I agree. Something weird's happening. I also want to know what she does to get McCready's affinity all the way up because I can't seem to do it.
So, steal stuff.
Is that what he likes?
Yep.
He likes you to steal stuff. Shoot. Okay. Good to know. It's like half of the time he likes what I'm doing and half of the time he doesn't.
Steal stuff and take chems.
Yeah.
I think he likes chems a lot, right, Ray?
I
Yeah.
do a lot of chems. I don't
remember that part of it, but
know. I know
Really?
Hancock likes it when you take chems.
Oh, were you talking about McCready?
Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah,
McCready.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, steal stuff. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Hancock. My bad. She mentioned Mirelurks. The one thing I will mention is that I love about Mirelurks. They are annoying. And for some reason, the kill claws are harder to kill than the glowing. I don't get it. But one thing I do love about the Mirelurks is the soft shell meat that you get. The soft shell Mirelurk meat in particular is used for the cat traps. And cats boost happiness in settlements. So I always try to have lots of cats around my settlements via the cat trap because they boost happiness. But unlike with the dogs, there's no bad version of the cat, so you'll never get a bad a bad version of the cat pop out. Because with the dogs, you'll get mongrels that pop out or guard dogs and stuff like that every once in a while that are hostile towards you. So not only is the animal hostile towards you, you've wasted the bait that it takes to trap those animals. And the dog also provides happiness. So the cat is more efficient with the happiness ratio that way. But the way that the dog is better is that they provide at least 5 protection defense or whatever. You know what I mean? They boost your defense and happiness together. But they're less efficient in the fact that you could get mongrels instead of real dogs.
And
so
then
anyway,
do you
sorry.
Just shoot the mongrels?
Yeah, you kill them as they come out. You basically have your sights set on the dog cage as you open it and hope that it's not a mongrel. You got to put it down immediately as it's emerging from the cage. Otherwise, it'll attack your other dogs. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's not a mongrel, you got to hope that you don't have an itchy trigger finger.
Well, Ray just kills and asks questions later anyway, as we've established. So, yeah. Josiah, did you say where that name came from? Was that produced by the name generator?
It's a good one.
I'd be interested if Codsworth said that name. She mentioned that Billy was way, way, way far away from home.
Yeah. Why was his fridge so far away?
He was playing.
That far
and he
away?
Just happened to get in the fridge. But that far away, you're saying he was so far away. It was like a quarter of a mile up the road. It wasn't that far, you guys. Ray, how old did we establish Billy was?
Either 11 or 12.
When I was 11 or 12, I was on my bike riding to the Ridgeville, the next town over from Winchester. That was like 9 miles away or whatever. My parents didn't know where I was. I was on a bike all the way,
That's because you grew up in the Midwest.
I ranged, baby. I ranged.
Oh my goodness.
No, at least in my age, kids were free to fucking roam. Ray, you were raised.
True.
You were raised in an era when kids just kind of roamed free, right?
I got kicked out of the house at 6 in the morning and couldn't come home until 9 at night.
At summer, that your parents expected you to be gone. They didn't care where you were as long as you weren't at home. Oh man, it was a simpler time, you guys.
I guess so. That thought terrifies me now. There's no way.
You're gonna kick your kids out of the house at 6 a.m. and be like, "Don't come back until 9 p.m."
No.
You guys.
No.
Oh, come on,
So
Sarah.
crazy. It was just
Yeah.
crazy because thinking about it, yeah, we did the same stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I didn't have a town 9 miles over, but
We just hop on your bicycle, and that was basically freedom. There weren't cell phones to track where you were or to report in with. You were
no.
lucky if you could find a quarter to find a payphone. And kids are like, "Gasp! What's a payphone?" You know?
Yeah,
Like,
there were no payphones where I grew up either.
oh my God.
I grew up kind of in the boons,
Oh.
but
Well,
everybody knew
yeah.
each other. So, we just knocked on a neighbor's door and be like, "Hey, I need your phone." So,
You have like an alpenhorn. You get out on the porch and you make a long horn signal to your neighbors across the valley
yeah,
out in
exactly.
the boondocks. Yeah.
There you go.
Sarah says she's not Minuteman loyal, but she believes that they're the most like altruistic or the best group. And I say, go ahead and be Minuteman loyal, Sarah. Take the plunge.
Yeah,
The waters
they're
are
the
the waters
best.
are nice. Yeah, they're my fave.
I think too.
And of course, we have another vote. Sarah, welcome to Team Reload for Kent. # Reload for Kent. We have a program going on over at the Facebook group right now. # Reload for Kent. So everyone, go ahead and like that post.
We definitely need t-shirts, I think.
T-shirt campaign. # Reload for Kent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kent is a nice guy. There's no doubt about that. He is a very nice guy.
He's good for a ghoul. No, he's good. Way less annoying than what's his name? Does the sales rep have a name?
Yeah, Vaultec guy.
Vaultec guy, that's his name.
Vaultec sales rep.
If Kent survives, does he just go back to Good Neighbor? What happens to him?
Yeah, he goes back to his little apartment.
And you have to report there to do the armor upgrade.
Yep. Yeah, you go there to get your upgrades. All right, so we have one more to go. We have the latest on Timmy from Steve.
Kia ora koto, everybody. Steve in New Zealand here. So Timmy was hanging out down by Quincy and was wandering over by the Atomatoys place and found this fantastic drainage tunnel there. I would totally love to make that like a hermit settlement or something like that. What you do is you go south of the Atomatoys building and go find it. I love it. And so in Quincy, we took out the gunners, and I ended up using a grenade to open a barred door. Read through the terminals over there. It really fleshes out the story of the Concord gang. Found Mama Murphy's stash, and Quincy is big. I mean, it's really big. And so after that, we decided to head to Good Neighbor to get a drink at that place we met McCready at. Got chatting to Whitechapel Charlie, and he told us about some dirty work that the mayor needed done. Never hurts to get yourself in with the locals, so he took up Whitechapel Charlie on the job. Timmy snuck into the warehouses. There were 3 of them,
and he cleared out the triggermen that were holed up in there. I can totally see how Hancock wouldn't want an armed force building up in his city, so I understand why he would send somebody out to take out those guys. I want to note that in the Rexford Hotel, there is a magazine called Live and Love, which gives you a +5 XP when traveling with a companion. That is awesome. Just easy +5 XP. And in the third rail, there is another Live and Love magazine, which means that your companions permanently gain +5 damage resistance and energy resistance. So in the Rexford, go through the door, turn right, it's on the bar counter there. And in the third rail, when you first go through the door and there's the guy watching the door who talks to you, he's wearing a tux, it's a ghoul. If you go to the right behind him down that hallway, it's not really a hallway, but anyways, go down it and the magazines are there. So make sure while you're in Good Neighbor, pick those up. And we ended up talking to Bobby No Nose, who went and did the big dig down below where you take out the Mirelurks. I can't remember what level my Mirelurks were, but they sent us. She sent Timmy to Diamond City to go free to get Sam out of jail, and so we left Good Neighbor. And since I'm wearing power armor with a jetpack, I've taken to going up to the gate that you use to get out the front of Good Neighbor, and instead of going through the door, all you do is just jetpack right over the wall, and then it's like you went through the door. It's awesome. So I just like doing that every time I go out Good Neighbor. I just hop over the wall instead of using the door. On the way to Good Neighbor, I stopped by Hubris Comics and grabbed the Silver Shroud costume. I'd already been to Hubris, but I'd left the costume there before because once you pick it up, you can't get rid of it until after you finish the Silver Shroud quest. So I waited to pick it up until I actually was going to finish off the quest. Decided to get Sam out of jail by popping some grape mentats for a +5 charisma to pass the speech check. And I agree, it was a very anticlimactic moment by the guard. Yeah, okay, I'll let him out, sure. And then that was it. Did the big dig, and I did end up going the wrong way in the tunnels and found that suit of power armor in there that you guys were talking about, and then had trouble figuring out I was in the wrong tunnel. It took me a few minutes to find my way through, and we finally made it into the warehouse, and I ended up siding with Hancock, of course, and ended up killing Bobby No Nose. Picked up Hancock as a companion, and then we went and did the Silver Shroud quest. I did not dress up and play the part this time. I've done that every other time I've done this quest, so I just decided to get through it as quick as possible this time. And I actually kind of tried to play as a bad guy, but the people I was sent out to talk to always ended up turning against me, and I ended up killing them anyway. So I found that it worked having Hancock with me because then I didn't have to go back to the State House to talk to him. I read that can cause some issues with some people's game, but I didn't have a problem. I love using Ashbringer. I took it along with me. It's a really kick-ass gun. We ended up at Milton Hospital to take out Sinjin after going through all the rest of the quests, and I have to report that I'm sorry Kent did not survive. I was just a little too slow. Maybe I should have shot Sinjin first, maybe used a different weapon, but I decided to go ahead and just play it through once, and that's how it was. Kent died. And I agree. There should have been more unstoppable heroes and villains in the game. They just should have put a lot more of them in there, like a Manta Man costume that lets you breathe underwater. Yeah, or that would have been cool if you're into mods. I did look it up, and I do note there are a couple mods out there. A guy named Taco Duck 300 has made a Manta Man, an Inspector, and a Mistress of Mystery mod. Also a Captain Communism one too. So if you're not into mods, you can always go take out Oswald in Nuka World, which would give you kind of a inspector costume, and pair that up with the deliverer, and that would be great. Oh no, the deliverer goes with the Mistress of Mystery character, and you can use the dress from Irma. If you have pickpocket, you can go pickpocket Irma in the memory lounge and use her dress to, I don't know, dress up your own character or one of your companions and make your own little Unstoppables group. Back to things. Killing Sinjin let me out at Milton's parking garage, which is, there's a fun little maze there, and it was really fun. I never really worried about getting killed though. I'm not playing on too hard of a level, and I ended up getting heaps of screws and stuff from disarming all the pressure plates. It was funny to see all the pressure plates strewn about, and I ended up taking the jail cell with the nuke and the fusion cores. I'm always looking for those fusion cores. Not that I'm hurting for those necessarily now either. And after I got to the top of the parking garage, I noted that there is a barred door up there that you could use to get into the building to get the rewards without having to traverse the whole maze, if you're into the whole brevity thing. So keep that in mind. Just a grenade, blow the bar off the door, and you're into the back of the maze if you don't want to do the whole thing. I did not do Kid in the Fridge. I skipped on that right now. Maybe I'll come back to that later after a few episodes. But ended up following up on some Brotherhood of Steel quests. I'd been assigned the Battle for Bunker Hill from Father, but I'm not currently playing with the Institute, so that didn't make sense. But I couldn't change it. That was the way the game had been set. And so I just ended up helping out the Brotherhood of Steel take out the Sense. And at the very end, I threw a pulse grenade at the escaped Sense and took all 4 of them out. Can't leave those hanging around. And I ended up going to tell Father what happened. He got angry with me, and we're not really on speaking terms any longer. So I went back and went to the Pridwind, and the Brotherhood sent me to wipe out the railroad. We headed over and took them out. That rabble was no challenge. That failed the quest Tradecraft, to no surprise, instantly when I took the quest. So I won't be able to do that one later on in the playthrough. I'm curious to know if later on when it's on the schedule, I'll run over there and try and go through the little dungeon to see if I can still get the deliverer, or if you can only get the deliverer while doing Tradecraft. I don't know. Guess I'll find out later. I can't remember where it was, but I did do the quest Blind Betrayal. That has got to be the most fucked up companion quest there is. Man, a few weeks ago I said something along the lines of how many points in the game there are very difficult choices to make that will not leave you happy any way you choose. Well, this is one of those quests. I don't want to spoil it, but I think everybody should do Paladin Dance's quest at some point, just because it really puts you in a interesting choice that you have to make. I did a few more quests for Proctor Ingram. We power armor wearing no leg people need to stick together. So I eventually ended up over at Mass Fusion to get the Beryllium Agitator. I'm in there and I look around and I think, hey, aren't those unique legendary armor pieces, the free fall legs? Aren't they in here? I thought about it. I'd never gotten them before, because you either have to glitch them somehow by like riding a trash can up a wall, it says, and I hate trying to get glitches to work. And so or you can use a jetpack on power armor to get them. And so I happened to be there with a jetpack on power armor. And well, that is the most fucked up place to put these things where they put them. You gotta be at the floor where it's all windows and you can look below you. And then you have to jet up 5, 6, 7 floors, hopping back and forth. Then, in order to actually get to where you go to pick them up, you have to use some Nuka Quantums. Luckily, I had some ice cold one, thanks to Brew and Buddy. And I also used some jet fuel chems, which is made by combining flamer, fuel, and jet. And you use those to get your AP up while using your jetpack because you won't make it just by jetpacking. You have to do something to enhance your time. I also took some normal jet while I was doing it to slow down time and give me more um, jetting time. And it took me multiple attempts, but I finally got it. And so, and I got into the first office. And then after that, you have to do the whole thing all over again. Kind of. I mean, it's difficult. Go watch a video on YouTube if you want to see somebody do it. Oxhorn has one, and so you get into this little office. There's no other way to get into it besides how I said. Um, and then you have to pick a novice lock to open the safe. So anyway, the free fall legs. So these things that I went through all this trouble to get. The story is they were developed by an intern named Jack Rockford at Mass Fusion's product engineering department. He was inspired by the shock absorption system within Power Armor, and he came up with the idea to use a kinetic repulsion system instead of hydraulics to make it less bulky. He had planned to show them off at the office's rooftop Christmas party by jumping off the roof with them on, but he was keeping them in his safe until then. On the day the bombs fell, he was trapped inside of his office and he'd forgotten the key to the safe. So his skeleton can be found in a chair near the safe. And as the name suggests, when both of the armor legs are worn, the freefall legs provide complete negation of fall damage to the player character. They're essentially combat armor legs with a unique legendary effect. But come on, is there a more fucked up way to get an item in this game? I can't name it. So the rest of my adventures there at Mass Fusion were fairly straightforward. I did help the Brotherhood of Steel defeat the Institute. I leveled up a few times, and since I already had all my perks from the random character generator, I'm at a point now where I can pick and choose, and I decided to take Quick Hands. And it gives you a 35% faster reload for your guns at level 1. And level 2, it removes the cost to reload weapons and bats. And at 3, it gives you 10 action points. So not the craziest of perks, but I've never taken it before. And I find myself reloading a lot with Timmy. And so between the Scrounger perk, which at level 4 gives you a chance to regain ammo when you fire the last bullet in a clip, and faster reloading, hey, why reload now at downtimes and just fire away using up your clip? I don't see a lot of ammo from the level 4 Scrounger, but I do see it pop up now and then. Not that I'm hurting for ammo necessarily at this point in the game, but so what's up next for Timmy? Are we taking him to Nuka World? Oh, no, I guess not. Looks like we're headed to Fahaba. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
Awesome. Thanks,
Fahaba.
Steve.
Fahaba.
Fahaba.
You ever had a lobster roll, Sarah?
I have not. It is on my list of things I would like to eat. But I want like a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's the last time you were in Maine? Gotta go.
Yeah, never.
I'm sure Ray loves lobster rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Is there food you haven't eaten, Ray?
Oh, certainly there has to be.
I just can't name it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there has to.
There has to be.
That's awesome. The free fall legs, those he said those were like combat armor. They're not this can't be power armor because they're already free fall, right?
Yeah.
So that's like combat armor. It basically turns combat armor into power armor legs. But that'd be a fun way to role play it into your character there, Steve. Like, so you wouldn't have to be in power armor anymore. You could be like, these are new prosthetic robot legs that help my character walk around without the need of all the braces and stuff of power armor. So that's pretty sweet.
Smart.
He mentioned there's some sort of trash can glitch you can use to go up the wall or something.
Right up the wall.
Yeah. Don't you love Bethesda games? Reminds me of the Skyrim plate through a door glitch. I think Ray's mentioned before you can like glitch through doors with using a cup or a plate or some stupid thing.
Yeah, or even walls.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, that dance story is really sad. If you haven't done it, I mean, who are we really being spoiler free for at this point? But really,
I don't know.
That dance story is sad. Have you done it, Sarah? Probably at some point, right?
I'm totally on mute. I said, I don't care what happens to dance. I hate the Brotherhood. The end.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's one way to look at it, and that's probably the appropriate way to look at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet you would like this story. It's it's gripping.
Well, for Ray to say that, I don't know. Maybe
it's worth doing.
Well, Ray just kills everyone in the end anyway, so just guns everyone down.
Yeah, you can kill Maxim.
Oh yeah, you can get his coat. That is the best. That is the best. Right on. Thanks for the feedback, Steve.
Yeah, I have to take a look at that. So, one thing that kind of caught my attention with him, going over the wall at Good Neighbor, is that when you go through that door, it's actually a load screen.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask about that. Does that load screen still come over, or does he just jump right over and continue on?
Yeah, it sounded like that he just jumped over and could walk right up.
I bet you it triggers a load screen, right? Would it have to?
I feel like it has to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you guys ever done the thing in Skyrim where you go into Whiterun and then immediately turn around to the alcoves of the front door? There's some barrels sitting by the front door, and you can hop up on top of those barrels and then hop out of Whiterun. And
no.
If you do that, the game does not force a load screen, but you're out on the Skyrim countryside, and so it hasn't loaded any monsters or anything. So you're running through like a countryside with no opponents or anything. It's really weird.
It's super weird.
Well, the real reason for doing that is so that you can go around to the side and go through a rock glitch.
Yeah, you're right.
And get the
there's a treasure chest.
Yeah, the chest from the Skyforge.
Oh, the Skyforge chest. Yeah, you have to wrap around off to the side there and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done it one time. It's really eerie under there.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you walk out, you come out behind Jorvaskr, and you're back in Whiterun.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
if you play with the unofficial patch, they move that barrel so you can't get out.
Oh, those sons of bitches.
Yep. So same thing with the Dawnstar chest.
And the Markarth chest too.
Yeah, yeah.
I like those chests. Don't take those away.
So
there's evidently one by Solitude. I've never actually been able to find that one. Never been able to get it to pop.
Yeah. after the first couple of playthroughs, I started playing with the unofficial patch. So
Yeah.
all that's been gone for a long time for me.
That's really weird that they hid those legs, like Steve was saying, that you have to access them by jetpack only.
Yeah, that does seem bizarre.
Really strange. He said he went down the wrong tunnel in the Big Dig. I've done that so many fucking times. That's the only reason I ever find that power armor is when I accidentally stumble upon it by going down wrong tunnels. Oh, and Steve, I just wanted to say that you're Mr. Lebowski and I'm the dude. Or Duder, or El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing. That was nice. I like your little drop there, Steve. You had a falling out with father. Go kill the railroad. Yeah, your trade craft is fucked. Is that something we put in the schedule?
Yeah, it's in there.
Huh. That's interesting. That. Did we put a lot of other faction dependent quests in there? I don't think we did a lot of that. I think we just did that because everyone likes Deliverer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those essential guns you have to run into.
So that'll be not the next set of quests, but the ones after that.
Yeah, so there's no way that there's no way you're getting that gun, I don't think. I don't know. I've never actually gone back to see.
Yeah, so really it's the doors to get in that'll be the challenge. Because I don't remember, it seems to me that you can pick the lock on the sewage tunnel door, but I don't think you can pick the lock. Well, you have to power up the elevator before you can go down. The front way through the Silcom Show. So it'll be interesting to see. So my faction is railroad, so I've already done it.
Yeah. I didn't really kill anyone in the railroad, so I think I can still get back in there, but I haven't been back to test it out since I've been doing a lot of stuff for the Brotherhood. I think I've stepped on some toes, but I don't think Desdemona's gonna. Does the screen pop up, Ray? You know what I mean? You are about to perform an action that will.
No, that's. I
fuck
think
up your relationship.
Yeah, no, I don't think that one comes up in the railroad at all.
Okay. Interesting. You have to let us know how that works out. Really cool. And we got anything else? Oh, we do, Ray. We got an email. Good Lord, long show.
So I'm going to beg Lee's forgiveness and hold on to that email until next week.
Yeah, it's an involved one. It's a really good, long, involved one. It's all about Fallout 76 and his theories on how the servers will be utilized somehow. I'm not even sure.
Based on the information that's been leaked out so far, it's what he's pieced together is how the servers are going to work. So
yeah, it's a really good in-depth look at his theory there. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. Hearing that email next time.
Yeah, but I don't have the brain cells left to read it. It's technical.
Yeah. Right on. So next time on the Fallout feed, what are you doing? Someone said we're going to Far Harbor, right?
Yep. So we do Brain Dead.
Brain Dead.
ablutions, and the Great Hunt.
Gosh, I don't remember what those are even. So let's go have some fun. I think ablutions, we might get the a cool set of power armor, I believe.
And Brain Dead is the robots in the hotel.
Oh, very nice. That's a good one.
Yep.
And the Great Hunt. Oh, if you've never done the Great Hunt, everyone, it is one of the best in the game. One of the best.
Yeah.
Bring all your
find
good
a Vim Captain's blend before you go.
Perfect. Amazing. Just before we close out the show tonight, Ray, I just wanted to again thank everyone out there in the community for everything they did for Carrie's fund. She is in Barcelona recovering after a successful neck fusion surgery. So thanks everyone who contributed their time or efforts or actual money to make that happen. So she's recovering now. Hopefully she's having fun with her mobile games and listening to podcasts and feeling better straight away, Carrie. So thanks everyone out there who helped make that happen.
Yeah. And, certainly hope for safety for any of our friends in the Carolinas.
Right.
Oh, yeah. They're getting hammered right now, aren't they?
Yep.
Will that come inland towards you at all in Atlanta? Do you have to worry?
No. We might get a little rain and wind, but, nothing like they'll get in the Carolinas.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Atlanta has a history of flattening out hurricanes.
Good job, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, course, be safe out there. Our thoughts are with you. In Carolina, please evacuate, or it's probably too late at this point. But,
yeah, that's already done. And everybody needs to make sure that they free up a little time in their podcast listening schedule because we are on the eve of the next great Let's Play from Pat.
Oh yeah.
So Pat will be dropping some episodes of his Fallout 3 Let's Play coming soon. So make sure you're all ready for that because it is likely to be just as epic as Arthur's run through New Vegas. So Pat does an awesome job with his Let's Plays.
Yeah, Arthur left some big shoes to fill, so I'm really excited to check out his new character in Fallout 3. That'll be great.
Yep.
We'll post that over in the. I believe we'll be doing that over in the ASA Let's Play feed, where the tail end of Arthur got moved over to there.
Yeah.
So we'll look for that over in that feed. I'll try to, when it does start getting posted, I'll try to remember to put that like the RSS feed link or something in the show notes so you can link directly to it just by clicking the link. I'll try to remember to do that when he finally gets that up and running. Do we know, does he have an ETA on the first episode landing?
Didn't sound like it, but it's pretty close. He just had a couple of spit and polish to do, and I think he's going to be ready to go.
I know that he had a huge big batch of recording sessions already under his belt, so it's really cool. Good deal.
Yes, indeed. And thanks again to everybody for all the awesome feedback. You guys have just knocked it out of the park this season, and we certainly appreciate it. It's so much fun to listen to everybody's stories.
Wonderful stuff, guys.
So with that, thanks everybody. Thanks Andrew. Thanks Sarah. And we'll see you in the wasteland.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, so please contact us by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link and all other show information, please head on over to ASApodcasting.com, where you'll find the Fallout feed. on my podcast or YouTube channel, Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.